Lydia Des Dolles, MMA Connect TV, standing backstage at FIT TALK at the Moat Theatre in Naas, County Kildare with Graham McCormack, the real world Buddhist.
Yep.
Graham McCormack.
Yeah.
You're just off stage.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting from myself and everyone else.
Yeah, you're buzzing.
Yeah, no, ecstatic, like, Jesus Christ. Like, my story always kind of, it catches attention, do you know what I mean? Look, there's a lot going on in my fucking life up to this point, but it just grabs attention, do you know what I mean? And just, I didn't plan anything today necessarily. There was a few things that came up in the moment, and I'm a big believer of that kind of intuition and stuff, but the dancing was, the top of it all off.
It's brilliant. So for anyone that doesn't know, I mean, your story is like, it's this incredible story of, overcoming adversity, you're what people would say at breaking point or at the brink of, where your life was basically imploding with depression, with, all these different things. Everything. and the whole lot. Yeah. And basically your story, how we met you and how we had you on the show before is that, MMA, mixed martial arts, combat sports basically saved your life.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like, even to go back to the point I just made there inside, like, was that, like, routine was my cure-all. Going training, having to be self-disciplined, diet, and I couldn't be late or shoot fucking 100 burpees or, all this, like, it kept me sane, you know what I mean? And all these endorphins are released while you're training, and then you're brought to a comfort zone mentally, and then you're pushed past that point. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
Sorry to cut across.
No,
It absolutely is. We say it all the time, and it's definitely something that I try to get across on the show, is that it's not just about, doing a sport or physical activity. There's so much more that comes with martial arts, so much more that comes with combat sports that can be so good for body and mind. You've had this like amazing 360 where you're now using your experience, your life experience, and how you overcame maybe like the past struggles that you had with mindfulness, with meditation, and sharing your journey and what helped you, and which has kind of all 360 led you to where we are now, like doing talks and helping people. And we literally just had like 250 people on their feet dancing and understanding myself, and like understanding meditation and mindfulness, and you were doing breathing exercise with everyone, and it's so key, and it's so important. What was the kind of turning point for you where you said, right, I'm going to actually start this, and I'm going to do talks, go into corporate situations, go into schools and share my story?
Yeah, I feel emotional now because I know exactly what it was. An old training partner of mine had taken his life. It was coming up to his 1 year anniversary in, I think it was Christmas 2017. At that point, I knew Christmas was a bit of a tough time, you know what I mean? Financial stress and all this crap. I know he had a life story. I know I was emotional of my friend. I know it was a tough time. I said I'd just fucking put it up online. And I did. I turned my phone off straight away. I ran into Cork City, had about 12 green teas, I think. Came back, checked my phone, and about 46,000 people had seen it in the space of an hour. And there was about 300 comments, and I had a bit of fear about the comments. Yeah. I mean, I'm a father and stuff, and I was like, I got to a point where I wasn't allowed to see my daughter for a short period of time for genuine reasons. And I was like, God, they might say he's a bad dad, or the fact that I've taken a lot of drinking drugs to numb emotions, that they might have understood that and said, oh, he's an addict, he's like, he's a scumbag kind of thing, like the stereotype. But there wasn't one. There wasn't one, and it just fucking blew up. And knowing that there was no negativity directed at me or towards mental health and my story, I was like, I'm just gonna fucking keep doing this. So I kept writing, kept putting up on Facebook and Instagram, and it went from kind of good for people seeing it to thousands of people following me and comments, and I was like, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of momentum here. And then last year I got an email from someone saying they were from RT, and I was like, fuck off now, like, a number or whatever, give me a buzz. I thought it was one of my buddies, to be honest. I was like expecting this Cork accent over the phone, but it was a Dublin accent. They were like, look, we'd love you to come in, we've heard about your story and stuff. There's a show we're putting together around mental health. We'd like to feature you on it. And I was like, yeah, definitely, fucking hell. Going from where I was to that, I was like, definitely, like, that's exposure. It's helping so many people. It's growing momentum around and awareness. I went for it. So eventually, anyway, we were recording from about 8 in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night. and I was on the show then for about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And the show was called Nationwide, like, and it was on last October, the 8th of October. And since then, Jesus Christ, will you come here? Will you come here and talk? Will you come here and talk? And I'm just like, fucking right, I will. Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. Like, and I remember when you were starting out doing this, when it was just like an idea. You were like, this is something what I want to do. It was Full Power. It was like the Full Power Fight Night. Yeah, it was the kids show.
Yeah.
And I remember I interviewed you there, and you were like, I remember saying to you, I'd love to, obviously get involved in some way, or to help promote it, or just spread the message. And I remember you saying to me, and this was kind of like a pipe dream, this is what I want to do, and I was just like, oh, go for it 100%. Like, and to see, to full circle, it all come back around and you actually doing it, and not just doing it, but it's actually interesting. You know what I mean? It was like your presentation, your delivery is really good. It's you're sharing your story, people are getting to an insight, get attached to you, see the emotion in it, and then you're teaching them the little tools and tricks to help them in their life.
Yeah, no, you have, like, I see certain problems with certain kind of forms of help. Okay. Yeah. So there's one where you just
let's be honest. I mean, like I have no problem saying it, because I speak to so many people that are suffering with depression and mental health issues. We get so many messages on MMA Connect because I talk so openly about it. Yeah, you do. And the mental health system that we have in Ireland is failing people, and failing people rapidly, and something needs to be done.
It's we've touched on this before, that the government are doing their thing, and that's not good enough. Basically, let's not bullshit around this. So we're left with a kind of dilemma, and I want help, but it's not really there, and it's only there sometimes. So you're focusing on the external. Mm-hmm. What about the internal? What about working on yourself while still applying for help? That's what my turnaround was. My turnaround was internal to external. I worked on my fucking self because I was trying to get help and I wasn't getting it.
Which in that is the key detail, is that a lot of people might recognize, I need help, I need to go to somebody, and they've been brave enough to make that decision and to go and try and make that step, and then they go to make it, and the resources are just not there for them. And they don't know, or they don't realize that they can fix themselves, or begin to fix themselves, by meditation, mindfulness, speaking to people that they trust in a safe environment. Mm-hmm. What would you say to someone that will watch this and is in a situation like that doesn't have the resources to get proper help? Mm-hmm. What steps would you tell them to take? Okay,
so I have to stress anyway, while you work on yourself, you're still applying for help external. So when you're doing what I'm going to say, you have to be still pushing for therapy and so on and so forth, and help, or in any way, shape or form. So for the internal, it's meditation. Okay, meditation sets down new neural pathways in your brain. It changes brain chemistry. You literally start thinking differently. Right. So then there's mindfulness as well. There's a slight difference between them two. Mindfulness is just becoming aware. So when you're self-aware and you notice a negative thought, you then have the power to change that. So that's becoming aware. Then there's stuff where you touch the heart. That's gratitude, random acts of kindness, self-love, self-care. And then there's the chemicals again with the brain. So movement, endorphins. Eat healthy. 90% of your serotonin's in your gut. If you're eating shit food, you're going to feel like shit. They're all steps to take. They're certainly, I'm actually happy with what I've just given there now, because that's certainly enough once you put them all together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
It's key detail, actually. I'm start crying. But it's like because it's that thing of like, I know it works. You know what I mean? And it's like, and again, the same way with you with MMA, jiu-jitsu was my entry into to fixing my brain chemistry and self-love, self-respect, new ways of thinking, positive living, positive attitudes. It's so important. And again, I can't stress as well for people that think that you have to be fit and healthy to start combat sports and martial arts. They say it's like sending a child.
You don't. As much as your brain is trying to tell you that you do, you don't. Yeah. I was 18 stone 10 pounds, okay, about 2 years and 3 months ago, right, when I actually decided to give up drinking drugs as well. 18 stone 10 pounds. I set a target, right, I'll touch on the martial arts in a sec, but I set a target to get outside my house for 1 minute. 1 minute. I was barely able to do that, and when I did leave the house, my mother would follow me because I had a habit of not coming back. But the point I'm trying to make with that is start small. I mean, if you step inside the doors of a martial arts gym and you don't even make conversation, you run back out, that's progress. 1% better every single fucking day. And you can progress in that then the next day. Maybe drop a message to them and say, look, I kind of, felt a bit uncomfortable yesterday. Is there someone I could talk to?
Yeah.
Any martial arts gym or any gym in general as well will make you feel comfortable. It's not for business, it's not for shit. It has a lot to do with martial arts and respect for yourself and others. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, we could talk all day on this. We could do like a three.
Give me that. Hello.
We could do like a 3-hour special on this. But where can people find out information about you if they want to get in touch?
So I'm on Facebook under my name. I have a private profile. I have a kind of like a following profile under the same name, and I'm on Instagram under The Real World Buddhist.
Good stuff. We'll link up and we'll put all your details in here so they can get information. But congratulations again. That was absolutely brilliant. Graham McCormack for MMA Connect TV.
Thank you.